Greetings students, this is Mr. Beckman, principal of the high school. I will be assisting you with your online course registration. As I go through this screencast, I will talk as if I'm talking to a student who has yet to experience our online registration process. First thing you need to do is navigate to our district webpage by going to www.reespuffer.org. Once you get to our district webpage, on the tab listed as High School, click on High School. You'll now see that the high school web page is up. If you scroll down to the Parent Portal icon, click on the Parent Portal icon. You'll notice now that you're at our PowerSchool application. The username and password are two number sets that you'll have to enter. The username is your student identification number and the password is your 6-digit birth date. An example would be if you were born February 7th, 2015, you would enter 020715. Go ahead and enter in your username, which is your ID, and your birth date. I'm going to put my test student in and give them a birth date. If the screen comes up that you're about to go inactive, go ahead and click on that, and you might have to re-enter your information, but it'll be quick to do by just entering again your student identification and your birth date. That does come up at times. Now you'll notice that you've got information about your name, some of your attendance and things along those lines that are specific to you, but on the left column you're going to see different tabs. The tab that we want to focus on now is class registration. Go ahead and click on class registration. What will come up now is information for you to start to begin the selection process of courses for you for next year. You'll notice that it has elective areas, social studies, math, science, and English. What I'd have you do is consider starting at the bottom with English and move your way up. You'll notice that we've got some information over here with a pencil. This is where you're going to access all of the different options that you have for these courses in those specific content areas. So first thing you'll want to do is recognize that you're going to need 6 credit hours, and right now you have not requested any. I'll take you through that process. So follow along with me as I start to select courses for my test student. I'll click on the pencil, and what will come up is options of English 10 or Honors English 10. What you'll notice, there's 2 check marks here. You must select an A section and a B section because these courses are broken down by semester. So in this case, I'm going to select English 10A and English 10B. This means that I will have English 10 first semester and English 10 second semester. I'm going to click so that I have green checks in those 2 areas. What you cannot do is select English 10A and Honors English 10B. It's either English 10A and B or Honors English 10A and B. Once you have selected 2, you'll notice that the green check tells you that you selected these courses. Go ahead and click on OK. Once you click on OK, you're going to notice that you have a green check mark here, so you have now completed the area for your required English course, and you can see that you have selected English 10A and English 10B. Now let's go to science. When I take a look at the different options in science, you're going to want to know what sequence, and this is where your counselor comes into play. If you have already taken biology, then depending upon your course and conversations with your counselor, you'll want to make selections that are best for you. Looking at the different options, you're going to notice that some are anatomy and physiology, chemistry, physics. You have another section down here that there's more selections. So let's see what's on the next page. You'll see Honors Chemistry, Physical Science, A and B, Physics, A and B. There's times where physics and physical science sound a lot alike. These courses are very different. In this setting, if I were a student that took biology and I plan to take chemistry my junior year, I'm going to select Physical Science, again A and B. So I'm going to click on Physical Science A and Physical Science B. You'll notice now that I have my green check. I'm going to click OK. My green check tells me that I am now scheduled for my science for the first and the second semester. Let's take a look at math and see what those options are. If I were a student as a freshman that took algebra, and then I'm currently in that. I'm going to take a look at geometry, but you can again see all the different selections in math. So I'm going to go to the next page, and I notice there's geometry, first and second semester. I'm going to click on first and second semester geometry. Again, it tells me that I have done what I'm asked to do. I now have selected my math. Social studies, as a freshman, all freshmen take world history. Our selection as sophomore is either American history or AP US history. In this case, I'm going to select American history A and American history B for my sophomore social studies requirement. Now it comes to electives. I have right now 4 selected courses. I'm going to be able to select 2 electives. And this is where, again, you're going to want to talk with your counselor, talk with your parents, because there's a lot of different options for you to take these electives. One thing I want to do is I want to continue to move forward with my world language. So I'm going to find my Spanish, and you notice there's a lot of different pages down here, and these courses are alphabetized. So I'm going to go out a ways and see if I can find Spanish or French. Let's say for this example I'm going to take French 2. I can see that I have French 2A and French 2B. So I'm going to choose French 2 for the full year, and I am going to look. It says you may select 4, so I'm going to continue. I think on this elective I'm going to take a semester course in first aid, and I'm going to take a semester course in geology. I see my check. I now have actually chosen 2 courses. One is year long, my French 2A and my French 2B. Then I'm going to take a semester course of first aid and a semester course in geology as my electives. I'm going to click on OK. Now what I have is I have a full schedule. I have 2 electives, my course in social studies, math, science, and English. I have at this point now scheduled a full 6-hour requirement. You can see it's noticed right here. So if I'm happy with this schedule, I am going to click on Submit. And once I click on Submit, these courses now will be selected. And it's telling me now that I'm going to submit my courses. I have now selected, and it shows me the courses that I have now on a tentative schedule for the fall. The question is, can I change this schedule? Yes, you can. You can change this schedule by just arrowing back. And once you get your screen back up, if I want to change one of these, let's say for example I want to change and really challenge myself with AP US history, I'm going to click back on that. I will click off on the American history and now click on my AP US history, and then I click OK, and you'll see now that it has indeed changed here. If I wanted to change an elective, I could go back and I can deselect first aid and geometry, and I might want to take a look at something else. And so I could go and start to look through these different opportunities, and I might want to take a year-long course, or I might want to take a semester setting. In this case, you'll notice that there's some prerequisites listed. You'll want to make sure that you watch that. So I could take a look through these different classes and choose something else. I think maybe what I want to do for an example is I'll take CAD in a year-long setting instead of those 2 semesters. So I click on semester A and B. I again click OK, and you'll see it reflected. Now once I'm happy with this schedule, I go back and submit that. And once I've submitted it, it will show a new tentative schedule. This is how you go through the scheduling process online. It's really a very simple process. What I would want to remind you of is that course deadline is Friday, April 2nd. Keep your parents and your counselor in the loop of what you're going to select, so that as you go through this process, the courses that you select are the ones that we truly will do our very best to honor and indeed hold you accountable to for next year. Best of luck. If there's any questions, make sure to check in with your counselors, talk with your parents. We're excited to have next year come around. It's coming quick.